the champions in Kolkata Knight Riders, Korbo Lorbo Jeetpo. I'll tell you what, they're going away, Bo, in terms of their black retro kits. That's what my producer Shaunak told me. So if that is truth, that is great, because why would we want to welcome a retro jersey back into the big time? That is the IPL. So KKR, of course, champions, and a fact file to get started right now in this little preview of the KKR. Now, the captain, we all thought it could be Venki Iyer for that money and the relationship he has with the coach Chandu Pandit, MP, and all of that. But they've gone for Jinx. Ajinkya Rahane. The experience is what Venki Mysore quoted. 2024 standing first, it was GG and his boys who got the job done in a one-sided final. But look, their first 5 fixtures in IPL 2025, they're playing the opening game, and of course they're playing RCB. They're not playing themselves at home. We apologize for that little blemish. RR away, MI away, SRH at home, and LSG at home. They played 43 games since IPL 2022. They won 23 of them, lost 19. But more importantly, like I said, they won the IPL last year. They won 3 IPLs right now. So they're literally kind of catching up with the big boys in MI and CSK in terms of title count. Right, KKR lost their captain, lost their coach. Are they going to lose their title? Akshay, I'll start with you.
Hard not to see them not losing the title. Wow, that was too many negatives, more than a double negative, I guess. But yeah, to put it very simply, no, I don't see them defending their title this time around. Just the kind of options they went for in the auction, firstly, and then the fact that they've gone on to make Rahane their skipper. Interesting choice. I know that they did not have any proven captaincy options in their setup, so Rahane that way made sense. But I don't think he would have been a part of my starting 12 ever. So now that they have to force fit someone like him game in, game out, it means they lose out on a lot of flexibility. It means the batting also looks a bit too one-dimensional. It seems extremely dependent on Sunil Narayan's returns now. So it is going to be tricky for them. Quinton de Kock is a great addition, though, no doubt, given the kind of surface Eden Gardens usually offers. He should enjoy himself there in the power play, scoring runs. And yeah, the bowling lineup is more or less the same. So yeah.
Yeah, bowling will come to in just a bit. You mentioned 2 names there, Sunil Narayan, Quinton de Kock. A lot of previews, a lot of articles going around about KKR and their starting 11 for IPL 2025 has those 2 lefties on top. Do they feature for you? And talk to me about their batting depth chart as well, Akshay.
Yeah, they definitely start for me. So just to put things in perspective, of course, my 12 also looks something like this. The top order has Narayan de Kock, Ankush, Rahane, and then Venkatesh, Rinku, Andre Russell, and Ramandeep Singh at number 8. Harshad, Spencer, Vaibhav, and Varun. That's their bowling lineup, like their bottom 4. But yeah, in terms of options, they've got quite a few. It's just that they've now hamstrung themselves by, now they have to bat Rahane up top because he is going to be.
So where would you bat Rahane? Sorry to interrupt.
He is going to be batting at number 3 or 4. I slotted him at 4 because Ankush did pretty well last year at 3. But yeah, it's basically interchangeable. So 3 or 4 is where I see him batting. Anything lower, I don't think he has the gears. Anything higher means Sunil Narayan or Quinton de Kock either are playing out of position or not a part of the 12 at all. So that's also not likely. So which means 3 or 4 is where he will be batting at. And yeah, in terms of options, they've not done too bad a job though in terms of backups. But again, backups का क्या फायदा अगर आपका first 12 अच्छा नहीं. The focus is always on building a very good first 12 and then looking for backups. KKR, if my memory serves me right, was one of those teams that had spent the least on their playing 12. They have enough backups as well. Like beat Moeen Ali, beat someone like Remanullah Gurbaz, Andrik Nokia, Spencer Johnson. They've got a lot of like-for-like options. So that is a pretty, risk-averse move, so to say. But yeah, Narayan, the opener, has to click for them. And apart from that, Venkatesh Iyer with all that big money on him, I don't know if that money pressure is something he will be subdued by, but fingers crossed he can also come good for them.
Yeah, you look at that graphic and it just shows you it's an equal mix of lefties and righties. You mentioned there they have good backups. I mean, Moeen Ali obviously doesn't play for England anymore, but he'll definitely be a good addition to have off the bench. Next, when you talk about their bowling, they did, of course, rely on that trait last year to get the trophy to the City of Joy. But this year, if you look at the artillery, the versatility, the variety in their attack, do you see KKR posing a threat?
Yeah, I surely do. And again, the bowling is why I feel they still have most of it covered, because you look at the lineup last year, swing early on with Vaibhav, and of course you had Stark, but Stark came good on the big days, yes. Maybe Spencer can do it enough if he starts for them. But I also see Nokia starting in quite a few games. So they can have options used as per their wish, which again, something both me and Akshay clearly differ on. But that's good. Umran Malik is sadly ruled out. So let's see how that pans out with Chetan Sakaria in that lineup. I think the bowling is still fairly covered. You have middle overs where Sunil Narayan, Varun will bowl along with Andis Nokia is someone that I'm backing on. Okay, he can come good really and use specifically at times against matchups. You have Harshit to finish off. And yes, finishing is well. Maybe I think Varun might get a role if Stark is not, if not that Stark is not playing. But I still don't think that bowling lineup has clear weakness like it was last year. Yes, Russell played a massive role by taking plenty of wickets. So I think that blueprint is there for them. It's the bowling is not the bowling is the same. They have the same people. Yes, you don't know if Russell will go the same way, but I still feel given that role quality is there, I would be honestly surprised if they don't execute well because it's not that far off the fall off from Stark and Spencer. Yes, there is a gulf which should be there, but I don't think it's as stark that they don't make it to the playoffs.
Okay, fair analysis from both of you all there. Because look, KKR, you can say they lost their captain, their coach, and of course, the whole breath of fresh air with a few players like Akshay mentioned in his starting 11. Let's see if it comes to fruition. Where do we have them in terms of predictions? Who are heroes and zeros of KKR? Let's take a look at that right now because it'll be interesting to see if we've not messed this one up. And I don't think we have. Again, like I will go first in terms of the MNL predictions. My hero is Rinku Singh, someone Pomi Mbangwa mentioned in the MNL podcast with us earlier. I think he's going to have a blistering year and probably be the one-man army for them. You heard it here first. Their zero is Ajinkya Rahane. I want him to channelize his inner CSK 2024 man, but it wasn't the case, or the 2023 version of him rather. And I think they will finish somewhere in the middle, 5th, 6th, or 7th for me. Let's move on to Nick's predictions because he's gone for a very interesting hero, a very interesting zero, and of course he reckons that he's going to be in the top 4 KKR. So Nick's hero explanation and then zero explanation, please.
I mean, hero explanation because he's had good redemption already at the venue that, again, we've spoken about that. So I think Varun will have plenty to just build on now. So that's why I feel he could really come good, even better. You've seen his interview as well, how he's speaking about trying to develop new stuff for the challenge that is to come. And I can't wait to see him come good. So hero there in Varun. Zero no Shreyas because Shreyas offered a very good option of being flexible in terms of entry points. Something that Akshay touched upon that with Rahane now the captain, you'll have to bat some people somewhere only. And I don't know if that is always great, but I still feel they could still not open with Naren and do a far better job. But I don't know if that will eventually happen. But I still feel the bowling has enough in them and the role clarity is enough so that they can make it to the top 4. So I think Shreyas' flexibility will cause them because Shreyas could come in anytime and still do the job. So let's see how that works out.
So no Shreyas, no GG, no problem for Knicks in terms of KKR making the top 4, which is a very assertive point. Let me know if you guys agree with him in the comments. Now, Akshay's predictions for KKR are also interesting. He's gone for them to finish either 8th, 9th, or 10th. But look at the hero in zero. So, Akshay, explain, please.
Yeah, I mean, Ankush is someone I was very excited by last year. I'm hoping, I mean, he does seem like someone who's got a good head over his shoulders and is someone who can potentially serve them in the long term. So if he does get 14 games at number 3 or number 4, expecting him to do some good things. And he will have to shoulder a lot of that responsibility as well because, like Nikhil Bhai mentioned, Shreyas Iyer not being there. Also, I'll add Phil Salt up top and my zero as well. Sunil Narayan, the opener. It's too high variance in approach for him to be able to consistently be successful over 2 years. I mean, to be honest, it's an approach that's too difficult to consistently do well across the season, let alone two. The fact that he was able to do it throughout the season last year, first of all, was also a reflection of how dumb some of the other teams were. But I'm thinking that teams would be better prepared. Now, bowling attacks would be better prepared. Bouncers, kids line pe marna, it's not just bouncers, it's not the shorter ones that trouble him. The lines, above his right shoulder, for instance, slow ones across, extremely fuller balls, attempting more Yorkers, even if that means a full toss. He has struggled at those lengths. So, again, it is important that bowling attacks learn this, and I think now enough time has passed by for these analysts to, get it going, understand what to bowl, how to target him. So, I think it'll be very hard for him to do well this time around. And moreover, Chandrakant Pandit being the coach, I don't know how much on board will he be with this idea. Will he be someone who's just going to directly be like, "Haan, bhai, Sunil, tu ja, tu kar apna kaam." So that'll also be interesting to see how he sort of works with this setup.
Okay, Eden Gardens, of course, going to be playing host to all the KKR games, at least at home, and then let's see how they do on their travels as well. But KKR, let us know in the comments because there's lots of you boys in terms of supporting the Purple Army.